Alright, welcome back to the Animation Corner. Today I got a special episode with a special guest. Well, I guess he's not really a guest. He's gonna be asking me the questions, Mr.
Yeah,
SolsBricks.
you're the guest this
Yeah,
time.
I am the guest this time.
I
Yeah,
like it.
mixing it up this time, you know?
I have so much power.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little scary, but I'll go with it.
Unlimited power.
Exactly. So, alright, buddy, give me some of those questions. I'm ready.
All right. So we'll start off with something basic. What inspired you to start stop motion?
What inspired me? That's a good question.
What
So,
got you into it?
yeah, back in I think 2016, I animated with a friend. He has his own channel, Jed's Films. Actually, my name is in the name, but I'm not gonna say that. But I animated with him. They're really bad animations, you know, because what we were like 7, I think, when we started, 8. I have no idea. So we were just having fun making those, and then I was like, oh, I should make my own channel, you know, but I couldn't. My parents wouldn't let me for some reason, but. And then I think fast forward 4 years after that, I asked my parents again, and then they said yeah. And then I just started animating in COVID in 2020. I started in January, I think so. Just
Nice.
animated every day, pretty much after school. Like after schoolwork, I would just animate, pump
So
out videos.
it wasn't that long ago when you started.
Now
You've
it's
been
yeah.
like by yourself. You've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just by myself 5 years. I mean, I've
That's pretty
had I've had people come over and animate with me. I've done that a couple times, but pretty much it's just been me. So, yeah, it's been fun. 5 years, dude. Can't believe it's been 5 years.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And I know you're kind of transitioning from Lego into like Transformers, like
yeah.
action figures.
Mhm.
But what kind of got you into both? Like, why did you decide like doing stop motion that you're gonna do Legos and then move to Transformers?
Well, the Legos, my friend and I, or Just Films, we would mainly use Legos. I think we did a couple action figure stuff back in the day, but
Mm.
um, so I just been used to Legos, and I mean, what got me into action figures was just I was getting really bored with animation. I took that pretty long break over, I don't
Yeah.
know, I think, what was it, early 2024 maybe? I don't know, late 2023.
Mhm.
Anyways, so I started animating with Lego again, and I was like, huh, this is pretty boring. My videos weren't getting much attraction. Um, and I went back a couple years on my channel and found that I made a couple action figure videos, you know, and they
Mm.
got a lot of attention, you know, and I was like, okay, so maybe I could try this. So then I made an Optimus Prime versus Skywarp video, which ultimately started my fixation on Transformers stuff again, and that's what I've been making ever since. So I mean, it's been really fun. I love the characters of Transformers, the world, and just making my own stories on Transformers. So
Nice. Yeah, I noticed that your Transformers videos just keep getting more and more viewed.
oh yeah,
You're
my
definitely
last
doing
yeah
something right.
my last video's kind of blowing up, so I'm happy about that. I mean, it's not. I don't focus on just getting views. I'd like to see people watch my stuff, but you know, it always makes me
Yeah,
happy to see that. So,
of course. Speaking of like your past work, do you remember by chance like your first stop motion project and how that went?
you mean my first like just by myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. My first project by myself. Well, actually, let me backtrack a bit because in 2018, I started animating by myself, but I couldn't upload anything. So I made, I think my first ever video I made by myself. Oh, excuse me. Was a Ninjago video because I had like the Ninjago figures from the movie, and I just started animating with those, and oh, it was awful. I used oh, what was it? There was this one. video software that it wasn't meant for animation at all, but for somehow I found out how to do it, and I took pictures on there. It was the highest FPS you could put on it was one frame per
Oh,
second. It was terrible. So
so you could. It was basically like a slideshow.
yeah, it was just a slideshow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would. I animated it on like a little trampoline too, like one of those kid trampolines.
Yeah.
So it was just the figures sliding on the trampoline. It was nothing. If I ever find it, I probably have it somewhere. If I ever find it, I'll post it on my channel for like April Fools or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and as you were starting, did you have any creators that really inspired you to get into it? Into
Well,
stop motion?
my friend Jez Films, obviously he did. I forgot to mention him in the last podcast that I was in, because they were interviewing me and they were like, "Well, what got you into animation?" And I completely forgot to talk about him. So sorry about that, if you're listening to this. But I think Forest Fire 101 got me into that too. Aubrey Studios, but he doesn't upload anymore. Sadly, he was the goat. And then my one friend, BrickBoys22, he got me into it because I watched his videos way back when I started, and I was like, holy crap, this guy's good.
Yeah.
So I mean, he got me into that too. I'm not gonna lie.
It's cool.
Yeah.
When you start a project, what is the process like from idea to a finished, like complete stop motion?
So when I start, I usually get on my computer and start just drafting scripts. I make a little draft, and then I'm like, okay, what can I improve on the script? Like my latest project, Tarn Collapse, I went through and rewrote some stuff and made the final script, I think a couple days ago. So I've just been animating nonstop, but look, nonstop animations. Anyways, so yeah, I just make a draft, I start script writing, and then once I'm done with that, I get the voice actors for all the roles. I have auditions, and then once I pick the actors, send me their lines, and then I usually make a set, but the set I'm using right now is pretty limited. I don't have much for this film, but I'm making do with what I have. But I just make the set, and then I start animating. That's pretty much it. I just animate for a few days and try to do my best on it. I usually go back and redo some scenes as well, but that's pretty much it. That's my whole process. It's short and simple.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much time a day do you, like, when you start a project and you have one in the works, how much time do you spend each day working on it? Ideally?
Ideally, I'd say I usually start a project on like Friday night, so usually whenever I get out of work, it's like, okay, animate for a couple hours, and then tomorrow, Saturday, animate for, I don't know. I mean, today, well, it's Sunday, but it's technically Saturday for me because I got tomorrow off, but usually I just take like half the day to animate, and then the next day, like on Sunday, I take another half, but that's ideally. But right now I've been animating all day pretty much, so I'm a little behind schedule, but that's all right. That's all right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I usually just take like half the day because I don't really do much on the weekends. But yeah,
that's awesome, because I know, like, including myself, there's a lot of people that like don't have a lot of time, or just like can't sit down and just work
Oh yeah.
that for that long. Like, I'm sure you mean like 6 to 8 hours a day.
Oh
Not
yeah. I
more.
mean, today, what is it? I've been animating since. Well, I've been taking breaks, obviously, but
Yeah.
I started at 8 in the morning, and then I stopped at like noon, ate lunch, and then went back, and then obviously did stuff with you. Splitgate. You guys should play Splitgate. It's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, around more than 6 hours today already.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of like the biggest challenges or like your least favorite thing about stop motion as a whole? Like not just animating, but like from the entire process. What's the most annoying part?
The most annoying part? That's actually a really good question. I mean, the most annoying part of the process is just when you're on an animation streak and then you bump the camera and you have to redo the entire thing. And they redo the entire scene.
That literally just happened to me.
Yeah, that happened to me a couple times today, and I'm like, oh, dear God. But also when, like, a character falls over or something, like I put clay on the bottom of their feet and they just fall over, and I'm like, dude. So then
you can like slowly see it happen too. You're like,
oh
no.
yeah, no, yeah, you just got you can't stop it. I mean, you're gonna ruin the scene either way.
Yeah,
but
you try to stop it, then you also bump the camera, so there's just no fixing.
Oh
the
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, it pretty much. It's interesting, but yeah, that's really the only thing I get annoyed about. I mean, sometimes light flicker gets me too, but yeah, but I mean, are you yawning?
You're alright. No, I'm invested. I am.
Yeah. I know.
I tried to hide it.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. I don't know. I don't really get annoyed about that. Script writing is pretty easy. I'm just a natural writer, so I mean, I just get on my computer and start writing.
Same. Like that's my favorite part is just writing. Like I have so many things that I've written that have just never.
Oh yeah, me too.
I just like writing.
Oh yeah, dude, I have like 10 projects, like brick films, that have never come out, and they're never gonna come out because I don't either. I don't have the pieces, or I just don't, have the time. Because I have time.
Time for it, bro?
That time for it. No, never coming out. That series is dead.
For it.
Series is dead. No more. So yeah, that's. I don't know. That's pretty much what annoys me.
Yeah, just drop a comment if you want time for it to come back.
No, don't. Don't. It's never coming out. The script was horrible. I went back and reread it. There's only one scene that I really liked, and it's the scene that I animated. And it's like...
You can still salvage it.
I have 7 minutes of the movie.
You got some plot holes to fill. You can do it in like 4 more episodes.
There are so many plot holes in the 4th episode. If you're one of my close friends and know the script, I've talked about it before, it's awful. It is horrendous. But the ending was kind of funny though. But I don't know.
So when it comes to stop motion, it takes a long time to make these things, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any like unique techniques to animate like more efficiently?
Ooh.
For example, one thing I do is when I don't want to do a walk cycle, I will just crop like the camera to their torso, so I just swing their arms and then move them across the background, so I don't have to animate each step.
That's what I do every time, and that's what I'm doing in this movie. I mean, Tarn Collapse. I'm about to film the fight scene of the movie, and the main character, one of the main characters, Cliff Jumper, is running. So I mean, I'm just gonna have the torso move, not the legs. So the legs are just sliding. I mean, that's really what I do, and that's what I do with brick film as well. But
yeah, with Legos, you can get away with pretty solid walk cycles, but I wouldn't even imagine doing that for a action figure.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, action figures. When I see people do that, I'm like, how do you do it? How do you actually do that? And I mean, I've been animating for 5 years, and I still don't know how to do that. I mean, walk cycles for brick films are pretty easy. They just take up time, and time. But action figures, no, it's nuts. But I mean, in this movie, I have some still shots, but I'm gonna make the camera move. That's another little, I guess, cheat code. I guess you could say that, just
Right,
to
yeah,
get
like a
around stuff,
shortcut.
just a shortcut, just to get around things.
Yeah.
It doesn't look. I mean, it looks fine, but I mean, I'm just testing out different angles, and it looks pretty cool. That's really what I
Yeah.
wanted to do with this movie. Just some still shots with cool angles, like from really up top or really far away.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of angles like that in stop motion, so that's good to experiment with.
Yeah.
And what software do you use for like editing and adding effects?
What I use for editing, right now I use CapCut, but CapCut on my computer. I was thinking about getting Adobe Premiere, but it's really expensive. But I do have an editor, JPG Productions. He does all my VFX stuff. He does sound stuff. He did the Tarn Collapse trailer. That's his first project for me that he edited for. So I just edit the voices in, and I do pretty much all the basic stuff. But he does the majority. So I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. Go check out his stuff if you haven't. It's pretty good. But
Sure.
yeah. Oh, I was saying that just to everybody, but yeah, you can too, Carlos. So go ahead.
Check 'em out, yeah. What are some of your favorite projects that you've worked on
Oh, that's a really good question.
throughout time?
Ooh, another time reference. Well, let me think. I made, let's see. Right now I'm making the Tarn film, which it's not personally my favorite, but it is definitely, it's,
One you're passionate about,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but I'm making a film called Transformers Calamity, and that one I'm pretty passionate about. I think that's gonna be really good. And yeah, and then Brothers in Arms, written by McConnell, and then yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that. But my favorite project I think I've made so far is my Batman Pyro film from
I liked that one.
2023. Yeah.
I can't believe it's been that long.
I know, it's been a couple years, almost 2 years. In August, it'll be 2 years old, which is
Yeah.
surprising. That took me about 3 weeks to animate and then a couple weeks to edit. So that was probably my favorite film I've ever worked on. So
That was one of your longer projects, wasn't it? Like 15 minutes or something?
yeah, I think it's 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's just
that's
really good.
Definitely one to be proud of.
Oh yeah, and then I would say my Spider-Man film too, but the animation's not really that good. So, but guess who's the main character? Who voices Spider-Man? Somebody in this call, eh? You got a 50-50 chance of guessing.
I'm gonna say it's me.
Oh yeah. You'd guess correctly. Yeah, so go check that one out too. It's pretty fun. Everybody listening, it's a fun film. His girlfriend actually voices in it too. She did a good job.
Oh yeah, she did.
As Mary Jane, yeah.
Mary Jane.
So, oh my god. Yeah, so those are my favorite projects, but I'm just looking forward to the future. Every project I make, I feel like is my best one. That's a quote from my friend McConnell, my co-host McConnell. That's a quote from him. He died in a hood shooting in O Block.
Drive-by, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so those are my favorite. But I mean, I got a couple side projects on the way too, and I'm looking forward to making those. Little Destiny side project. I love the Destiny franchise, so I'm making a little film about that, and then I'm making a Rick and Morty movie eventually, whenever I get the figures, because they're expensive. But I have the script done, so
Nice.
yeah.
So what kind of I can tell you watch a lot of movies the way you pace your stories.
Oh
What are
yeah.
some that have like really inspired your work or
Mm.
that you just enjoy?
Well, as my friend Daniel said, and he's a friend from my school, but he pretty much said time is a ripoff of Interstellar, which
Okay.
he might be right. Just looking
Yeah.
back at it, he's like, in the first episode with the black hole, he's like, this is just Interstellar. Come on. So I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Um, but yeah, no, Interstellar has, I think a lot of Christopher Nolan movies have. He's my favorite director of all time. He's just made so many masterpieces. Um,
Yeah.
and then Ridley Scott, who made the Alien movies, I take inspiration from his stuff, and he made Gladiator. Not Gladiator, not the new one. I mean, he made it, but well, it's definitely a movie. Um,
Doesn't count.
Napoleon was actually pretty good, though. I don't know why people give it a lot of crap. It's actually not bad of a movie, but
Yeah. I think it was just because in those kind of movies, they're always so inaccurate
oh
to
yeah,
history,
yeah,
but they are entertaining.
yeah.
Either.
No, it's an entertaining movie, but let's see what else. Oh, oh, jeez, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper right now, man. It's just like
Nice.
it's just like a minefield. Um, James Cameron, definitely. I love his stuff. Terminator. Um,
Yeah.
well, for the least part, Titanic. That movie's really, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Um, oh, what's his? The Abyss, I think.
Yeah.
That movie's really good. I always blank on the name though, because it's like one of his less known projects.
Yeah, I think I've only watched it once. It's been a while too.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then of course Avatar. I love the Avatar movies.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are the three main directors that. Oh wait, and Quentin Tarantino, of course. But
Of course.
yeah, of course. So yeah, there you go. Those directors really inspire my stuff.
A lot of your films remind me of like the way Quentin Tarantino paces and tells his stories. Like you tell your stories in ways I rarely see other stop motion animators do. So,
Oh, I appreciate that.
of course.
Yeah, I do see that in some of my work. Not a
Yeah.
lot of Quentin Tarantino, but a lot of Christopher Nolan and his editing styles, anyways.
Mhm. So, when it comes to kind of like back to Lego versus like action figures, what do you like about animating each one, and what do you dislike? What are the pros and cons of each?
The pros for Legos. Oh my god. The pros for Legos, I have to say, are they're very flexible in the way you can make them move however you want. I mean, or same goes with action figures too, but
Mhm.
Legos you can make them more expressive. I feel like, because I mean, you can make them do whatever you want. I mean, the same thing with action figures too, but action figures have a limited range as well. So I mean, like
Yeah,
with Legos, you can swap out their heads to make them have different expressions for different moods. You
there's a lot
can.
more customization that
Oh
you can
yeah,
do.
yeah. It's just customization. I feel like that's the pro of Legos, and the
Yeah,
fact that the sets you can just rip apart like a car and make it like a house, if you really wanted
yeah,
to.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah. You can just do that. I mean, you can do that with Legos. So, I mean, so yeah, yeah. So the cons of both, I feel like, are mm, oh wait, hold on a second. Anyways, sorry about that. Uh,
Okay.
okay, so back to the cons. I feel like the cons of both are that they can just be a little difficult with moving them.
Yeah,
Um, especially action figures. I mean, action figures takes a lot of time to like perfect, and I still haven't perfected it yet. I mean, I don't
yeah.
think any action figure animator has, to be honest, but a lot have gotten, really good. I mean, like, look,
Really, you have
Leo
to.
Legendary, yeah.
have to have like slower movements
Oh yeah, for sure.
with action figures to make it look more legit. Whereas with Legos, like there's not as many joints that you have to control,
Oh yeah.
which means that they're more limited in movability, but at the same time, you can get away with some pretty weird things.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot with Lego. I mean, I guess you could with action figures, but more of
Yeah,
Legos. So, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of negatives for both because I just love animating. So, I mean, there's not really much negatives I feel, but they have a
yeah,
lot of positives. So, I mean, they just a lot.
for
They
sure.
both
I
have pretty
mean,
much
it
the
makes
same.
sense because they're both popular
Mm-hmm.
in the stop motion community.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of, how do you feel about the stop motion community? Like, how involved are you within it?
The brick film community, not at all anymore. I'm not.
Mhm.
I don't pay attention, to be perfectly honest with you. But the Transformers community, I pay attention a lot. I'm active in a lot of Discord servers. I, promote all my work. I share my scripts sometimes with other people. I give sneak peeks and stuff, but I watch a lot of my friends' work, Transformers wise. I mean,
Yeah.
same thing with brick films too. Like, I still watch your videos, I watch McConnell's videos, I watch, yada yada, but I'm not
Yeah.
active in like, oh, here's a new brick film. How do you guys like it? That stuff.
Right. You're more focused
Yeah.
on what you're working on right now, which is
Oh, yeah.
Transformers content.
Yeah, I've pretty much left everything behind brick film wise. It's not really that interesting anymore, and
Yeah.
I
So do you
just,
feel
yeah.
like the Transformers stop motion community is a lot more positive?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, they are. They're really positive. They're cool. Everybody I've met in the Transformers community, like the animation community, is really cool. They're uplifting, they're upbeat. Everybody's nice. I've only met a few people that are, well, they're not mean, but they're interesting. But for the most part, everybody's just nice. They accept one another. I mean, even if your animation's bad, they'll still be really nice about it. That's not
Yeah.
the same with the brick film community, where if it's bad, everybody will criticize you no matter what on like the slightest things,
Yeah,
or
for
they'll
sure.
just be really harsh or really rude because they get like egos get to their heads. With I see nonstop animations. We made a video about that, and then I see all these other people. Jim Jam Films. I mean, he was pretty nice until, yeah, I don't know. It's a long story, but it's just all
Yeah.
these, when you get a big following like that, from what I've seen in the brick film community, they just get they get too much. It's just too much for people, especially me. I'm like, no, I'm done. But if you have a
Yeah.
large following, it doesn't matter how many like people follow you. Every single
You should.
Transformers animator has been really respectful and nice. So I just really love that community.
That's really awesome. Yeah. Because
Mhm.
I've certainly met some really awesome people who do brick films.
Yeah.
But I've also met a lot of people that for some reason just have like a massive ego, and it's like we're playing with toys
Yeah.
right now. Like, it's-
Yeah, bro. And we're not getting paid for it either. It's just
yeah,
art that we're just doing on the side.
it's like you can't bash an 8-year-old who's like getting started
Oh
with
yeah.
stop motion. Like everybody has been at that stage before, and everybody has failed.
Mhm.
And it's like we only get better by encouraging each other. And
Yeah.
I feel like that part of the stop motion community is like dying out.
Oh yeah,
um,
for sure.
on YouTube and like Discord. On Instagram, I've made some pretty good friends.
Yeah, on
Um,
Instagram, I haven't really. I just made an Instagram again
Right.
for my YouTube, but I haven't really noticed anybody. And I'm just following only Transformers people primarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really care about the brick film community anymore. I just don't.
Art in general is kind of a hard community to be a part of because people can just have like a really crazy ego,
Mhm.
and it's hard to be successful sometimes because
Oh yeah.
you can you should never try to be a slave to the algorithm, because that just causes a lot of burnout, and you should always like want to express yourself, not necessarily what your audience wants.
Exactly.
But I feel like at the same time, you don't really get rewarded for doing that. You get rewarded for being the algorithm slave.
Yeah, those
So
are the exact points that McConnell and I were making in our nonstop video, because
yeah,
that's all those high end quote unquote animators do, because they're just slave to the algorithm, and that's
yeah,
all they want to do. Now it's fine if you do that, but it's just you're gonna burn yourself out, and you're just gonna make the same content over and over again, and it's gonna inspire people to do the exact same thing, and that's why I don't like the brick film community anymore, because
yeah.
I don't see any original films or like original pieces of work that much or that often. And from Transformers, I just see all these movies, like I see all these hour long, 2 hour long films that people are just taking their time on, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do for, I mean, I don't make hour long movies, often.
Right.
But I mean, that's what I'm making for like one of my final projects. I'm gonna make an hour-long movie, but
Yeah, but you're not making like 40-second videos,
oh
and it's
yeah,
like the same thing every time.
yeah. I write a script. I'm treating it like it's a movie because it's a film. That's what I make. I make films, not 40-second garbage that people
Yeah.
want to watch. I
A lot
mean,
of the stop motion animators that I follow, like that I have been following for like more than 10 years, they're always the ones that like drop one upload a year because they've been like working
oh yeah.
hard to get it out.
Hmm.
Whereas like there's other ones that just like make short content, either just like a fight scene or just like clickbaity
Yeah,
stuff, you know.
yeah, exactly.
Where like it's fair to make that stuff as you're starting out to kind of like get the hang of stop motion and stuff, but there are some creators out there that just still do it. They're just like churning out cheap work. There's no creativity behind it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It irritates me, but I
Yeah.
mean, well, it's like you with, Knights of the Past. I'm not going to name drop anything because I'm not going to spoil anything, but this man's working hard on the next installment of Knights of the Past, and I'm really, really excited because your boy gets the voice in it. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah. But,
Yeah, it's been something like that has been a story of mine that's like been brewing in my head for over like 10 years.
see, 10
Like,
years. And then he's finally writing it. It's probably going to take you like another 2 years to get everything done.
yeah, especially get old voice lines.
Oh yeah. I mean, how long is it the script compared to the last episode or the last movie?
It, it's like 10 times as long.
Oh, see, 10 times as long.
But
That's
it's in a bigger font,
well, yeah, but
so it might be like 6 times, eight
that's
times as
still
long.
a big chunk.
Still, yeah,
That's what I want to see out of a lot of more animators, because
Mhm.
you're taking your time creating a masterpiece, and I no doubt that it'll be better than the last, because each episode and each movie has just
They just
it
get
gets
way better.
better. I no doubt this movie's gonna like blow my mind, exceed my expectations. So, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I want to see more people do that, and that's what I see a lot with the Transformers community. I mean,
more long
Transformers,
term
yeah,
projects.
Transformers War Chronicles. I don't know how long she was working on her last project, which was oh, Wrecker's Penance, and it's like I think a 15-minute movie, but I mean,
Mm.
it's a good movie. It's a quality film because she took her time on it and she took months to make it. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's a good story, good script, good acting. And yeah, I mean, that's what I want to see out of these people, but I don't know. I mean, it's up to them to decide what they want to make, but I don't
yeah.
know.
So, on a more happier note,
Yeah.
do you ever see yourself like experimenting with other forms of animation, like digital animation or anything like that?
Um No, I mean I used to make like Halo machinimas back in the day, but
Nice.
I guess that's kind of animation. But I'm not really interested in Blender, anything like
Yeah.
that. I mean I used to do 2D animations a while ago, but they were never good. Um, so no, not really. I never really want to experiment with that stuff.
You like
Cause,
stop motion?
yeah, stop motion is just it's just interesting because you know I can't make live action films because all I want to do is make live action films. But
Yeah.
I don't have the actors for it. I know one
Right.
person that can decently act, and that's it. So I need
Yeah.
to make connections on that front. But with
Or-
stop motion, I can make films and be the director, be the cinematographer, and get those voices because it's not. It's like it's 3D animation. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it
It's
is.
easier to wear all those hats when it's a stop motion, whereas if you're a director working with real people, there's obviously a lot more time and resources that need to go into that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whereas
But
with Lego, it's all contained on your table.
oh yeah, Lego
Or
and action
figure.
figures. It's all
Yeah.
contained on my table, which I gotta get a bigger desk. Um,
Yeah.
my desk is tiny, which that's it doesn't really help the set either. So,
Yeah. I
um,
got like a 5 foot table in my room for mine, and it was the best investment ever.
oh yeah, and obviously it's gonna be like really big for animating Legos because that's all you do. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So
So that kind of relates to my next question, where it's like, do you see yourself like what do you see yourself doing in the future, like career wise? Like this does stop motion have,
hmm. Um, I don't
I guess,
think. Well, animation right
is
now.
stop motion going to take you further in your career, or are you thinking of something else? Is what I meant to phrase it as.
Either I'm well, I really want to be an actual film director. You know, I want to direct live action films.
Hmm.
But I do have another idea of maybe trying to be a voice actor. But
Yeah.
I do not know yet because I've been experimenting with voice acting and I've acted in a lot of people's stuff. But I really want to try to get better at that. And my parents are like, "Well, maybe you should go and be a voice actor." And I'm like, "Well, maybe, because that'd be pretty cool." But
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
don't know yet.
It's something I've considered myself too, like doing on the side.
Oh yeah,
Um, but
it,
yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Those are
Director or voice actor, and
yeah.
it would still help you with this hobby as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've never really wanted to be a actual actor, you know, live
Yeah.
performance. Um, you know, I don't want to be in live action films. That I don't see myself in front of the camera like that.
Yeah.
But I see myself behind the camera and then voicing for like a digital film or a 2D film. But
Sure.
that's yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. I don't really know about the future right now. I don't know what the future holds yet, but we'll
Mhm.
see.
So if you had unlimited time and resources, and this could be for anything, stop motion or a movie, what would be your dream project?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I way back when. It's not way back when, but it's a few years ago. I
Back when I was a kid.
back when I back back in the day, back in my day, back in 2021 or 2, I
Yeah.
think I started making this film that I had on my mind for years. Is a Vietnam War movie, and it would just center around this one guy and the effects of PTSD, which a lot of movies
Mm.
have done that before, but I
Sure.
wanted to make my own spin on it, make my own little twist on it.
Yeah.
So I started writing the script for it. I got maybe 10 pages in and I lost all interest. But if I had unlimited time and unlimited resources, I get a
Yeah.
giant desk, I get all the Legos I wanted. It would be a brick film.
For
and
sure.
all the Legos I wanted, I would do it. I would make it. It would be like a 2.5 hour film, and yeah. But that's really all I want. I have that and the Transformers film I'm making, Transformers War for Cybertron in the future. That's definitely what I'm going to do it for sure. But if I had unlimited
Yeah.
time, I'd do it right now.
Yeah. And I'm
And
sure it'd be much bigger
yeah,
than what you
much
might have in right now.
much cheaper too. Because if I got everything for free, I wouldn't have to spend my entire wallet on Transformers.
Right.
Which they're crazy expensive, and it actually irritates me. But well,
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing is like no matter what you animate with, clay can be very expensive and like all the rigs you need for it.
oh yeah,
Legos are expensive and mega constructs
yep.
and action figures are expensive. Like there's no cheap way to do stop motion besides to just build a collection over years.
Yeah, it takes years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last question for you
All right.
is I think you probably asked this to people before, is what piece of advice you would give to someone just starting out?
Bro is copying me. I
It's a good
well,
question to end.
that is a really good question, and I always include it in every episode. But I feel the biggest piece of advice that I give to any animator starting out is be your own creator. Be yourself. Make the things you want to make. Do not be slave to the algorithm. If your videos aren't getting views, trust me, they'll get views in time. You'll get attraction. It took me years to finally get to where I am now. I'm at like almost 890 subscribers. And that's not even much, but it took me 5 years to get here. So just make the films you want to make. Make anything you want. Just don't copy people.
Make your time for.
Yes, make your time for. You know what? If anybody wants it, you can have time. You can take all my videos. Take all my time videos.
You were just telling people to make what they want to make, and you obviously want to make time for it. Like, don't be a slave.
No, don't listen to me. Don't take it. That'd be copying. But no, but just be your own advocate. Be your own creator. And
I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, it is the best thing to do. It is the perfect advice. I've always held on to this for my entire time animating. Maybe I had that one little instance where I did copy the algorithm of it, but I made mostly the majority, like 98%, is just all my stuff. But
if you have a lot of passion for something and like you're just starting out, you're only going to get better and better with it. Like Knights of the Past, the pilot, that was like the first time I was like, I'm gonna make my own thing. Because before all that, I was just like making Star Wars stuff. Basically copying things I've seen. But with Knights of the Past is like, that's what I always envisioned making when I started stop motion.
Yeah.
And because there was so much passion in that project, each episode like got better and better exponentially.
Right.
And so like for someone starting out, if they start off that way, like making what they want to make, their growth is going to be so much more than if they're just like trying to copy what other people are doing.
No, yeah, for sure. So I mean, just take that advice all the way. For however long you animate, take that advice, keep it in the back of your head, and just be yourself. Do your own thing. So that's my piece of advice. So thank you, Mr. Carlos, Mr. SolsBricks, for asking me the questions this time. This was a pretty fun episode to record.
A lot of these were ones I've always kind of want to ask you about. I know we talk a lot about these things, but it's kind of fun to do it in this setting.
Yeah, you're right. No, I agree.
It's cool to have a video dedicated to you as well, because otherwise it probably would never happen.
Well, thank you. I mean, we do. There's one podcast episode I'm on, but that's that's not important.
Not on this.
Not on this one. Yeah, you're right. So, well, thank you again. And everybody watching, go subscribe to him. We already have an episode out with him. This was from a while ago, but go watch that too. It's not the best, but hey, it's fun. So,
Yeah.
all right, I am MegaPrime Films, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.